So we're going to talk here about a cross update or basically an update of data from one field or one table to another table. And an update query is a very important query when you're trying to move data or collect data in different tables throughout your Access database, and you need to merge those to create perhaps another table or a different type of look on that table. So what we're going to do here is just show just a real brief, simple example that will hopefully be of assistance to you if you're ever trying to do this type of query. Because if you do one thing wrong in here, it doesn't work right. So let me just go ahead and explain some of those things, and I think you'll find it's pretty easy. This word here, update to, has always been a little confusing to me. So I always put out here to the side what exactly is going on. Here, right here, this field, first name, field name represented by table field TF, and test B is a table indicated there by a T. This data right here is going to be the recipient, right? We're going to put data into table test B from, although it says update to, we're doing it from this table here, which is test A. You can see here test A, and then the first name field as well. So we're doing that there. Now, so that's what that's doing. So you can pause and look at that in more detail. And I kind of give an explanation right here in this text. Here are the query fields, which you see here again are listed out. This right here is the join field between test A and test B. And here are the properties right here. So you can see that I'm including records from test A, which is kind of my master, and I'm dumping it down to this secondary table here, test B. And I've honed in on first name. So basically what I'm saying here is if the first name is the same in test A, then when it goes to do an update query in test B, it's going to first find that exact name, that first name. If it finds it now, first name, by the way, is probably not the best one to key in on because you'll have a lot of the same first names, right? So you want to be a little more unique. I just picked it for this example. All right, could be an ID code or something of that nature. So here, but it's going to look for it. So this is the basic setup. So let's go ahead and take a look at this in real life. Let's just open up Access and see what it actually looks like. So here's the query that you've seen, right? Here we have our table B. Here we have table A. We have our join done here, right? And when we double click on that, whoops, it's always a pain. There we go. We can see the join properties there. All's good. Now, let's look at the data first of all. In test A, we see here we have the first name of Jeff with ID number 3, and we have data here in test-A and test-B. Now, in test B, we see that we have Jeff, and we have the same data, A and B, and we have ID number 11. So I'm going to delete that data right now from test B, and we're going to save that out. So now we can see there's no data in test B, but there is still data in test A. And what this query is saying is I'm going to move the data into test B, the table test B right here with these fields from test A right here. Okay, so let's just go ahead and run this query here, and we're going to just hit, and it'll say yes. Now, when you run it in your code, you'll put, notices off, or if you use instead of do CMD, you're maybe using execute, and you won't see that pop up. But let's go ahead and just take a look at test A. Make sure everything still looks the same. Looks good, right? Still on ID number 3 there. Here we're in test B. Notice we've moved to ID number 12, and we have test A and test B. So remember this. Now, notice these columns are not A and B, right? So this is A, this is B. So that is the data that was transferred for us from table A. Now, let's go back into table A and just make an adjustment here. And we're just going to put in AA. We'll go ahead and save that out. So remember, we're at record number 12, ID number 12, and There's no AA here. So let's close that. And let's just go back to our query here. And let's go ahead and run that query one more time. And then when we go back into test A, nothing's changed. We're still at record 3. When we go here, we're still at ID number 12, which is good. But notice here now, the A field is updated to AA. And so if I delete that field, for example, out of table B, and I save that, and I close it, now what's going to happen? Let's change this back to single A. We're going to save that, and then we're going to rerun the query. And again, it's going to do exactly what it's done the last time. It's going to put that data right back in there. So this can be a very, very frustrating query for a lot of people. That's why I'm doing this video, is it does get a little complicated if you are reading literally what it's telling you to do, because sometimes these prompts aren't very helpful that they do in Access. So go ahead and take a look at this. This is kind of my help file that I create for things that people find tricky and ask me questions about. So I kind of do a quick video for them. But this is what that looks like. And you saw here by the results, everything works perfect, exactly like we planned.